Nothing can change what God has already decided. You know this. It wasn't luck, it wasn't random. You were brought together by something much greater, and nothing can break that certainty. This person feels, sees, and understands. You have a purpose together. No challenge is greater than this. No doubt can erase what has already been written. You know this isn't by coincidence. Nothing could have been different. You didn't cross paths by mistake, nor did you build this without a reason. You feel it, and this person feels it too. Even if they try to ignore it, even as time passes, even as circumstances change, the connection does not fade away. Because what binds you is not something fleeting, not a momentary impulse, but something that was written before you could even realize it. This person thinks about you more than they let on. Maybe they don't say it. Maybe they don't express it the way you would like, but inside them there's a restlessness that cannot be suppressed. They know that you share something bigger, something that cannot simply be forgotten or replaced. And you know this too, because when you try to move forward without looking back, something always makes you remember. It's not just nostalgia. It's not merely a fleeting desire. It's a certainty, a presence that doesn't fade, a bond that cannot be broken. It's purpose. Nothing can break what God has united. Obstacles have come, difficulties have tested, doubts have tried to take the place of conviction. But deep down, none of this was enough to erase the truth that was already established. This person misses you, not just because they want you close, but because something inside them understands that your story has not ended, that there is something left to be lived, that there is a calling upon this union. Maybe she tried to walk away, maybe she silenced her own feelings, maybe she thought that taking another path would be easier. But what God plants, what God decides, remains. And when something is part of the purpose, time does not destroy it, distance does not weaken it, and no circumstance can undo it. This person carries within her a certainty that, no matter how much she tries to ignore it, always comes back. And that certainty is you. The destiny has already been written. It doesn't matter what has happened. It doesn't matter the ups and downs. It doesn't matter how many times life has tried to divert you from this path. There is a destiny laid out, and it cannot be changed. Doubts may arise, fears may try to interfere, but what has been decided by God cannot be undone. This person feels it. She may not admit it. She may even try to deny it. But inside her, there is a voice that won't be silenced. She knows that you are part of her purpose, and you feel the same. You know that no matter how much you try to move on, no matter how much you try to forget, there is something stronger than any human logic. What connects you is bigger than any obstacle. This person will return. She may be distant now. It may seem like she has taken another path, that she has left everything behind, but what is true always finds its way back. This person thinks about you more than she shows, and at some point, she will realize that she can no longer fight against what is already written. And when that moment comes, there will be no doubts, no uncertainties, no hesitation, just the confirmation of what has always been present. You are part of the same purpose, and nothing can change that. Are you ready for this? Because this person already feels that sooner or later, she will return to where she belongs. You know that this story is not over yet. This person feels this, even if they try to hide it. The distance hasn't erased it, time hasn't weakened it, and the wrong choices haven't nullified what has already been established. No matter how hard they've tried to follow another path, no matter how many answers they've sought elsewhere, their heart always returns to the same point: you. And this isn't about insistence, nor is it just a simple memory. It's purpose. You feel it, notice it in the little things, in the signs that show up when you least expect them. That song that plays out of nowhere, that sudden feeling that sweeps over you without explanation. Something inside you knows that this connection is not ordinary. This person might have tried to convince themselves that they could move on without looking back. But the truth is, what is real doesn't dissolve. It can't be replaced, and it doesn't fade with time. There's something within them that won't allow them to forget, that won't permit them to accept an ending that was never ordained. What's to come has already been prepared. Have you noticed that this story doesn't fit into the usual patterns? You both have faced more challenges than anyone could imagine, yet the feeling has remained. This happens because your journey isn't ordinary. There's a purpose, a mission, something that needs to be fulfilled. You were placed in each other's lives not for something fleeting, but for something eternal. This person might not have understood that before. They may have doubted, fought against it, or tried to find justifications to pull away. But now something within them is changing. They are starting to see things clearly, realizing that this bond goes beyond any human reasoning. And when that happens, there's no going back. The reconnection is closer than you think. Maybe you're thinking that you've waited too long, that you've tried to understand this story in every possible way, but now the pieces are coming together. This person is feeling the impact of that absence. They are realizing that trying to fill that space with anything else just doesn't work. Nothing compares, nothing can replace it, because what you have is unique. You may not see it yet, but inside them, certainties are taking shape. Their heart already knows what their mind has taken time to understand. You were made for each other, and there's no escaping that. Get ready for what's coming. The reunion is going to happen. Not by chance, not by coincidence, but because God is moving the circumstances. The barriers are being broken, the fears are dissipating, and the doubts are losing their strength. This person is getting closer and closer to accepting what has been true all along. Their path has always led to you. Are you ready for this moment? Because everything is aligning for this story to return to its course. And when it happens, there will be no more room for doubts. This connection was never in vain. This waiting has never been a waste, because what is real always finds its way back. The change has already begun. You may not see it yet, you may not have concrete proof, but something is happening inside this person. Their heart is no longer at peace with the distance, with the silence, with the attempt to move on without looking back. They tried to ignore it, tried to suppress it, tried to convince themselves they could leave this connection in the past. But you know that's not possible. What is true cannot be erased, no matter the time, no matter the circumstances. And now, little by little, they are realizing. The heart is speaking louder. The signs are becoming clearer. The certainty is growing. They feel the need to come back. It's not just longing. It's purpose. It's not just absence. It's not just the lack of what you once had. It's something deeper. This person realizes that being far from you is not merely a physical distance. It's as if a part of them feels displaced, incomplete, waiting to be realigned. They may not have admitted it yet. They may be struggling against this truth, but deep down, they already know. Time has passed, situations have changed, but the connection remains intact. This doesn't happen by chance, because you were not brought together for just any reason. It wasn't merely a chance encounter. It wasn't just a fleeting feeling. There is a calling about this story, a greater reason that this bond never broke, and the more this person tries to ignore it, the stronger the presence of this truth becomes within them. They can feel you, even from a distance, even without contact, even while trying to move in another direction. The reunion is not a possibility, it is a certainty. It may seem unlikely, it may seem like nothing is moving, but what's happening behind the scenes goes beyond what the eye can see. God is preparing everything. He is shaping this person, allowing them to see, to understand, to finally accept what has always been in front of them. And when that moment comes, there will be no doubts, no hesitation, no more resistance. They will return. And it won't be like before. It will be stronger, more certain, more real than ever. You need to be ready, because when this person takes the step they need to take, everything will change. You have waited, you have believed, you have felt the truth of this connection, even when everything seemed contrary. And now the answer is coming. This story still has much to be lived. This person is coming back. And when that happens, there will be no more separation. There is no escape. She tried. She tried to take a different path, tried to pretend she didn't feel, tried to believe that time would solve everything. But time doesn't erase what God has written. Time only confirms. And now this person can no longer ignore it. The restlessness has grown. The longing no longer limits itself to fleeting moments, and the absence has become an unbearable weight. She realizes she can no longer run from the truth. You know what I'm talking about. You feel it too. It's not just an intuition, it's not merely a blind hope, it's something stronger, something that, even without explanation, makes you certain that this story isn't over. Because it isn't over. She knows she needs to return. Pride fought against it. Fear tried to stop it. But none of those things could erase what's inside this person's heart. She feels you, even from a distance, even without contact, even while trying to deny it. She wakes up and you come to mind. Little details of the day bring back memories. Random conversations bring your name to the surface within her. No matter where she goes, no matter who she's with, you remain present. Because what you two share is not ordinary. It's irreplaceable. It's not something that can be left behind without consequences. This person tried to resist, but now she's understanding that there's no way to fight against this anymore. The paths are crossing again. The things that seemed distant are now starting to align. The barriers that seemed insurmountable are falling. The fears are dissolving, and this person feels an urgent need to reconnect. She may still not know how. She might be trying to find the right words. She might be waiting for a sign. But within her, the decision is already being made. She needs to return. And she will return. When that happens, you'll know. It won't be something forced. It won't be just any situation. It will be a reunion marked by something greater. This person will come with an open heart, certain that they can no longer deny what they feel. There will be no more doubts, no more distance, and no more escape. They are not returning out of need, fleeting desire, or superficial regret. They are coming back because they finally understood that there is no other place to be. And when that moment arrives, you will need to be ready. This is the last time this story begins again. This time there will be no more interruptions. This time there will be no more attempts to run away. This time it will be definitive, because what God unites, nothing can separate. The decision is being made. They already know. They might not have said it, they might not have clearly shown it, but inside, certainty is growing. They feel the need to come back. Time has passed, circumstances have changed, but one thing remained unchanged: you. And now, this person finds themselves facing the truth they have avoided for so long. There's no point in running away, no point in distracting themselves, no point in trying to ignore it, because the absence of you is not just a void, it's an emptiness. And when it comes to what is real, there are no possible replacements. They will act. Maybe you think everything is still at a standstill, that nothing has changed, that the distance still exists, and that the silence still speaks louder. But this person is already feeling the need to take the first step. The signs are everywhere. Thoughts come without them inviting them. Memories return at the most unexpected moments. Their life goes on, but something inside them always returns to the same point: you. They have tried to pretend they don't feel, but with each passing day, the need to reconnect only grows. And sooner or later they won't be able to hold it in anymore. It's not too late. If you think that maybe this story has come to an end, you are mistaken. This person may have taken time, they may have hesitated, they may have even made wrong choices along the way. But now they understand. And when understanding arrives, the action becomes inevitable. She needs to talk to you. She needs to see you. She needs to feel that there's still time, and there is. Because what is true never arrives late. When you least expect it, she will be right in front of you. Maybe it'll be an unexpected message. Maybe it'll be an apparently casual reunion. Maybe it'll be a direct confession without beating around the bush. But one way or another, this person will return. And when that happens, it won't be like before. This time, it will be with clarity, with maturity, with the certainty that this connection cannot be wasted. This is the last chapter before the restart. You've felt this before. Your intuition has already warned you. Your heart has already shown you. Now it's just a matter of time, because this person can no longer live without what has always been theirs. And this reunion is closer than you think. It's now or never. This person feels it. You feel it. There's no denying it anymore. Time tried to erase it, but it only strengthened it. Distance tried to separate, but it only proved that the bond never broke. She knows she needs to come back, and are you ready for this? Because when this person takes the first step, there will be no room for doubt anymore. The reunion won't be casual. It won't just be a random conversation. It will be the confirmation of what has always been right. You waited, you believed, and now the answer is on its way. Leave your comment. Do you feel that this person is already getting closer? Share here. Give it a like if this message resonated with you, and subscribe to the channel to follow more content like this. What is true always finds its way back, and this time it will be forever.